What's up, America? I'm Danny T. Welcome to the Republican Rebuttal. So, on November 10th, President Donald Trump met with a former terrorist who had a $10 million bounty on his head at the White House. I immediately want to know what was going on with this. He met with a man named Ahmed al-Sharaa. He is the transitional president of Syria right now. This is a historical event because we haven't had a Syrian president in the White House since 1946. Uh, Sharah wanted to talk about lifting sanctions off of Syria. He wanted to talk about rewriting a new constitution for his people. He wants to stop Israel from taking land, but he also wants to open up communications with Israel. He also wants to expel Palestinian militias from Syria. Um, in return for this, Syria would help the United States fight against ISIS and other counter-terrorist measures, amongst other things. Now, as I've said, he is a transitional president. He overthrew the last regime, a man named Bashar al-Assad. Now, he is an Arab socialist, a dictator, far worse than his father was. He's known as having one of the most repressive regimes in recent history. Um, he's done everything from war crimes, censoring and surveillance of the citizens. One of the main things that the United States was looking into was forced disappearances. We've had United States journalists, amongst other people, just go missing under Assad's watch. Um, he he's just an overall bad guy, in my opinion. Now he's not new. He's been in office from the year 2000 up until 2025. So to put that in perspective, when he started, shortly after he became president of Syria, George W. Bush was a president here. In fact, all three of these men had different roles and parts they were playing during the 9/11 attack, um, which brings me to uh, Sharah's terrorist activities. He actually founded Al Qaeda in Syria. He later on merged Al Qaeda with a group named Hayat Tahrir Sham. Uh, Now, Sharad did serve 6 years in prison for his participation in these extremist groups. He doesn't really talk about what he did while he was in those groups, but he does say that, it was 20 years ago when he was in those groups and he's a different man now. He also claims that propaganda and false media coverage exaggerated what the groups were doing. Um, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but when you look at uh, our administrations and our censorship and our propaganda that's been going on here for quite some time, it's not hard to imagine that a dictator-run country wouldn't be doing things like that. Also, not to take away from the crimes that Sharah did, in fact, do. Um, Now, a lot has changed from the Bush time. I mean, Bush left. We've had several presidents in between. We're back to Donald Trump as president. And Assad, he has been exiled. He's in Russia and he is hiding behind Putin's skirt right now. Um, Now, this isn't the first time these two men have met, Donald Trump and Sharah. They met back in May 14th of this year. And they spoke about a lot of the same things that they spoke about November 10th. The man to the right of President Trump is the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. His name is Mohammed bin Salman. Uh, he has a questionable past himself. I'm not getting too much into him. Um, it, it's just like like everything, he's done some good, he's done some bad. What you want to focus on is what you're going to focus on. His political views, when it comes to politics, he's more on the conservative side, But when it comes to economics and social views, he is a little more liberal with those. He also doesn't agree with what Israel is doing over in Gaza. He does consider it a genocide, and he kind of just wants peace in the area, much like Sharah does, much like Trump does, much like all of us have for pretty much our whole lives. I mean, the Middle East has been war torn for quite some time. It does seem like they all care about what is going to happen with Syria. Um, they definitely want this to be not what it has been uh, the past 25 years at least, or I mean, close to 80 years if you if you really want to go further than our lifetime here. It's hard for me to agree with us sitting down with former terrorists as an American, especially with the attacks that were done here, the loss of lives from American troops, American civilians. Um, it's very difficult. It's a difficult pill to swallow. But these three men, from Trump to Sharah to Prince Solomon, um, they are three characters that are heavily criticized. Um, I think it would be funny if these three men that the media just hates were the ones that actually brought peace to the Middle East. Um, we've had so many politicians talking about peace in the Middle East, especially if you're like me and you grew up in the '90s. That's all you heard in music and in the news. Uh, and it's been a never-ending war over there, if not with us, with others. Uh, I don't know how this is going to play out. I feel like getting into this, I've left myself with more questions than answers. I do believe that we can't change the actions of our past, but what we can do is use our actions today to change the future. And I think it would be wonderful, no matter who brings peace to the Middle East. I think it would be great in my lifetime if I saw that area not be a torn up war zone and actually watched some of those places flourish. I don't know if you agree with me or not. I don't know how America first this story is, but I do think that us as Americans should be pushing peace and democracy and freedom all over the world. I mean, it's been my story. I hope you enjoy what I talk about here. If you do, give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later, America.